Restriction is never the answer. She needs to address why she's overeating and relearn how to listen to her hunger and fullness cues. Diets and restriction is just teaching her how to have an eating disorder. No one should go to bed hungry, even if they're overweight. Yeah, nah, when you're about to die because of your weight, some restriction is most definitely the answer. Hey you, back there, who's 200 pounds, don't say it didn't work, when in reality, you weren't being consistent. This is a serious thing that I want everybody to take home. You can't work out sporadically. You have to maintain a routine. Your body needs to encounter a lot of change for anything to really happen. If you're working out a few days out of the week and only eating good a few days out of the week, you're going to see little to no change. But you got this. I trust everybody watching this video to make some sort of consistent plan. And if you're really having trouble doing it by yourself, there's plenty of apps on the App Store or the Google Play Store that can help you plan and motivate you to get off your butt and work out and be happy, get attractive, look good, all of it. I'm 5'10" and 215 pounds, and I like to point out to folks that I'm the exact same height and weight as Mike Tyson at the peak of his career. My BMI and Iron Mike's is above 30. Wow, this is a really good quip. This is a really good thing to point out to people who don't critically think. I doubt you look like him. I doubt it. This is what he looked like. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his BMI was high because he was packing on a ton of weight, muscle weight, not fat. Muscle. I bet my left foot you don't look like him. You want to know why I'm so certain? Because people who look like him don't write tweets like this. They're too busy being boxers. They're too busy working out. They're too busy caring about literally anything else. Thin privilege is wiping your butt from front to back. What? It really shouldn't surprise me that there's people on this planet who are so obese that they cannot wipe their asses correctly. It is so rich to hear any sort of political take from these people knowing that they can't wipe their asses. How can you tell me that I have thin privilege when you have dirty butt cheeks? There's being genuinely triggered, and then there's getting offended at absolutely anything for the sake of being offended. It's important to notice which one you're doing. Misery addiction thrives on social media. That's the funny thing about triggers, right? You really don't know if they're genuine. Someone could really just say that a fitness guru doing his or her thing is triggering because it makes them feel bad about their bodies. Is that really a trigger, or is that just you being self-conscious? Doctors get so mad when your BMI says you're overweight and your blood work comes back perfect. Yeah, I doubt that, but hey, that's not impossible. There's a few people who are genuinely overweight and have relatively healthy blood work. But that's not the only way we measure unhealthiness when it comes to overweight bodies. Your joints could be damaged, your organs could be overworked, specifically your heart. You could be having insulin and sugar intake issues. Or something even simpler, you could just be feeling sluggish and slow. You could be weak with low muscle mass. There are no positives for being overweight, and you can't run away from that. Won't stop eating? Shouldn't be celebrated. Doesn't need to be shamed either. Yay, you're fat from your own gluttony. Am I supposed to applaud you? There's no reason to fat shame, but I'm not going to fat praise either. You did that to yourself, which you're free to do, but don't expect the rest of the world to bend to your will just because you inconvenienced yourself and your own life. Body acceptance should be for people who can't change it, whose state isn't caused by their own poor choices. Someone born without legs can't just diet and exercise to grow legs. Someone burned with acid in an attack can't just take care of themselves and repair the scar tissue caused by the attack. People who only consistently crush on or date skinny people are inherently fat-phobic and need to check themselves. No, there's nothing fat-phobic about that. You're just mad that you're ugly. You're aware that you're built like the Blob and you don't like it that people don't find your body to be attractive. And the funny thing is that most people who are in your position recognize that and make an active change. Instead, you want to berate and make fun of other people who have the audacity not to date you. Imagine being so entitled to think that people have an obligation to choose you because your body is so radically different from the norm. So you have two options. It's either you go to the gym and you knock out those weights, you get onto the treadmill and you lose that weight, or you can remain bitter and angry at all the women who are doing better than you because they had put in the work and are getting all of the benefits from said work. something that you will never see until you actually go into the gym. Terribly rude and unprofessional. Look, all I wanted was a scale and an app to record my weight loss journey because my body type is different. I have to see them tell me in multiple places that I'm obese. I don't think I am, and I really don't like being insulted every time I'm forced to use this app with this scale. Literally seems to drive a person away from using the program. You're intimidated and upset that the program is doing its job? You strike me as the type of person who would buy the scales that don't actually have numbers on them, but instead the scale says gorgeous, fabulous, empowered when you stand on it. That type of product is right up your alley because you're not going to get that with this app. It's technology. Technology is blunt because it does its job. The fucking app told you that you were fat and you sat there and cried. Diet culture and fitness industry. Fat people need to exercise. Also diet culture and fitness industry. We will not make exercise equipment that accommodates fat bodies. You know, there's something really funny about that because that's hilarious, right? Imagine being so fat that a treadmill doesn't even move. And you can make the argument that some weight loss equipment might not be able to accommodate people who are extremely obese. But here's my opinion. If a treadmill or an elliptical or whatever machine you're trying to get on does not work because you're too heavy, you are past the help of a machine. You need to see a doctor. You need surgery. Then you use those machines to regulate your new body. This isn't discrimination in any way. It's just the fact that you're so unhealthy that the common ways that people lose weight will simply not help you. You are too far gone and you need a specialist. But look, it doesn't matter what I say. I doubt that these people are even going to speak to a doctor because a doctor would have to tell them exactly all the things they don't want to hear.
World that prevents you from losing weight.
I am absolutely fucking disgusted.
Good.
I dare you to go show this to your mother, considering that she got stretch marks from carrying your bitch
She
ass
knows.
around
She
for
saw the
9 months in
video.
her fucking
She
stomach.
likes it.
And there are medical conditions in the world that prevent weight loss.
No, there's not.
Polythyroidism and PCOS are the big ones that prevent weight loss.
Oh, really? So you're an educated white girl, right? So I hope you can use Google because you can control PCOS and you can control a bad thyroid. It's almost like if you exercise a lot and you don't eat McDonald's 5 times a week, you're not gonna be fat as fuck and die by the age of 35 due to a heart attack or a clogged artery. So let me educate you, educated white girl. Google's free. And stop making excuses to be lazy. You're helping no one.
If a plant becomes too big for its pot, you put the plant in a bigger pot. If you become too big for your clothes, you put yourself in bigger clothes. You wouldn't make the plant smaller to stay in its current pot, so why would you treat yourself any differently than you would a plant? A little issue with your analogy there. As a plant grows extra roots, it's actually getting healthier, it's getting stronger, it's looking for more nutrients, more water in order to grow. As humans gain weight, there's a specific point where it becomes detrimental to our health. That's called being overweight. You catching what I'm throwing? You having to purchase bigger clothes because you're becoming overweight or even becoming obese is the product of an unhealthy lifestyle. A plant growing extra roots in order to grow stronger is in no way similar to that. Do you have any advice on what to do when someone close joins Weight Watchers? My mom started it and it bothers me so much. This morning she counted the strawberries she put in her yogurt, and she always takes pre-opened lunch to work with her. She even decided she wouldn't make scrambled eggs anymore. Not even for us, because they have too many points. Yeah, I have some advice for you. Mind your own fucking business. She's trying to lose weight and there's literally nothing that you can do about it. It literally does not involve you. Now I get it. She doesn't want to make scrambled eggs for you anymore. Maybe the diet in the household is changing. Well, get this. It's her house. She buys the food. And if you don't have a job, there's really nothing you can do about it. So you just have to sit there and eat what she can make you. Now, if you're a grown person with the ability to cook for themselves and find work for themselves, I'd recommend doing that if you want to, continue to eat unhealthy. But if you're a minor, which I'm assuming you are, I empathize with your frustration that your diet is changing and you really have no say about that. But hey, you're living in your parents' house, they buy the food, you eat the food. And from what it sounds like, it's a net benefit. You're losing weight just as fast as your mom is. I don't see any problems with this. I really wanted to join a pole dancing class for a long time. I saw fat women on TikTok dancing and learning and felt inspired. I looked up pole dancing classes near me. There is one that is currently open and doing classes. It claimed to be diverse for people of all shapes and sizes, and then said the poles have a 250-pound weight limit. I'm super annoyed. It's also kindly mentioned that not all I don't even know what to say. When I read this all the way through and saw like the end, it said sarcasm, so I was certain that maybe this is a fake story, that no way is someone upset that they can't pole dance because they're over 250 pounds. But apparently, the sarcasm bit was just the last sentence. You can do all the moves later on, so inspirational. It actually wasn't the story, so this is real. Somebody is genuinely upset that they can't pole dance because they're 300 pounds. And somehow the fault doesn't lie on them, it lies on the pole dancing class. It's the pole dancing class's fault for not being open enough or diverse enough for a body type that is over 250 pounds. Right? There's no other issues here. It's definitely the pole dancing spot's fault. She's not. I would rather have bacon and donuts than be a size 2. But here's the thing, you can have it both ways. It's all about balance and portion size, coming from a size 2 that eats bacon and donuts. No, your comment is ableist. Sizes 2 can absolutely do that. However, every single body is different regardless of how much balance is present. I've never seen somebody so hell-bent on not understanding. They're so desperate to be comfortable in their degeneracy that they can't even see that the person arguing with them wasn't being rude. They weren't being ableist. They were just straight up saying that with weight loss and exercise, there's a balance and you can actually live the life you want while having the body you want. And these people are a lost cause. They'll never hear it that way. Using terms like ableist incorrectly and attributing malice to those who straight up say that exercise and weight loss is easy and something that anybody can do. Obese is a slur. Overweight is a slur. I won't call a specific person fat until I know their feelings about it. It's been used as a weapon for ages. I don't want to hurt anyone, but about groups, about politics, or about systemic oppression, the right word to use is fat. Dude, get a grip. I'm fat myself. They're definitely not slurs. They're medical terms for how much weight the person has and can be used in a harmful way. How dare you use the word slur to refer to this? It's not as bad as the N-word or queer, etc. That undermines actual slurs. Not every word is one. Diet culture. If you eat fast food, you'll crave it all day, every day. Versus real life. If you eat fast food, you will not crave it all day, every day. Tip. Enjoy that fried chicken and move on. Yeah, crave that fried chicken that you had yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the month before that, and the years before that, because that makes zero sense. There is copious amounts of evidence pointing at fast food addiction being one of the reasons many people are obese. That's just the truth. Having to starve yourself to get to a BMI range of normal is anything but normal. Fucking go say it from the back just for all of y'all. Dieting isn't starvation because you're still eating, you fucking potato. You are not alive to just pay bills and lose weight. Yeah, you're completely right, because you just pointed out the two most mundane, minuscule things about human life. People exercising and paying their electric bill, neither of which defines anyone. People who work out usually make it into a hobby, they make it into something that they enjoy, but I'm almost certain that's not their whole life. And I don't know a single soul who lives for paying bills. So, what the fuck is this supposed to mean? I have no clue what message this is supposed to spread. Since we always talking about what's natural and what's not, have we ever considered the idea that if I have to go to the gym for my body to look a certain way, then it's not how my body is naturally designed to look? So wait, let me get this straight. If we lived in a society that didn't have access to a whole lot of fattening foods and unhealthy foods, you'd still be fat? Even in a society that only really allowed you to eat as much as you need? Are you serious? You'd still be fat? Man, that's a struggle. I'm so sorry for you. Imagine that type of lifestyle. Everybody else is just vibing and you're built like an SUV.
Oh, I'm unhealthy because I'm fat?
Literally, yes. Like, yeah. Yeah.
I really dislike the term overweight. Over what weight? Over the weight that the oppressive paradigm of diet culture deems acceptable, or perhaps over the weight that socially constructed beauty and thin ideals have dictated? I'm confused. Confused? Nah, I would never use that word to describe you. Dear personal trainers, stop trying to increase fat clients' mobility with weight loss, which almost never works, and start working on strength, stamina, flexibility, etc. in the body that they have. I get it, you want personal trainers just to affirm your body. Instead of them doing their job, you'd rather have them make you feel good by forcing you to try and touch your toes when you can't reach over your stomach. In my opinion, I would think that would make you feel worse, to be honest, but, you know, it's your money. But still at the same time, it's sad. I mean, isn't the whole point of seeing a personal trainer to lose weight, not to feel good about the weight that you're in? My son's pediatrician made a point of telling me he's really heavy for his weight, and you might want to watch his portions and maybe switch to 1% milk, cause this puts him at risk for being obese later in life. He's 18 months old. She seriously wanted me to count calories for my toddler, who's basically a self-imposed vegetarian, and besides running around all day every day, is also strong enough to do pull-ups. Like, the kid is in all seriousness mostly muscle, and eats healthier than I ever have. Who are you trying to convince, me or yourself? Because that is ridiculous. If your child was as fit as you said he was, he wouldn't be overweight. So that's 100% contradicting what your doctor said. This is either delusion or a flat-out lie, and I'm starting to think it's delusion because the way that you phrase that entire paragraph goes to show that you are just as fat as your fucking kid. And look, I'm not mad at the kid for being overweight. He can't buy food by himself. That's you. You feed him. You're making him into you. You can't tell if someone is healthy by looking at them, so stop doing it. That is so rich coming from you guys, because you use the word anorexia a lot. Unfortunately, you guys have turned the term into something demeaning, ad hominem that's meant to make fun of people who lose weight. But if you were arguing in good faith, if you're actually being genuine about identifying anorexia, you can almost certainly do that by observing someone's body, by looking at them. You can immediately identify it. I use that as an example because if I were to use obesity, you guys would immediately say that obesity isn't a thing and that I'm using a slur, right? But if I were to identify and describe one of your favorite words you like to use to disparage thin people as something that can be identified through pure observation only, then you would have to listen to me, right? Unless you want to admit that you're being dishonest and facetious when you talk about stuff like this, when you say you can't tell if someone is healthy by looking at them. But you'll never admit that, right? No way are you guys that honest with yourselves. No way would you guys admit something like that. Thin privilege is having a chair that you can... Oh my god. I didn't even know this is an issue for these fucking people. Could you imagine not being able to fit furniture? Just basic universal furniture meant for everyone. You can't fit that because you have issues with food? Why isn't that a wake-up call for these people? But no, they view it as systemic oppression and thin privilege. Are you fucking serious?
Y'all are so fucking dumb. Did you not comprehend what I said? Not everyone has time to walk. There are some people who fucking work 3 or 4 or 5 jobs that do not have time to lose weight.
This generation just loves making excuses for themselves. This is The Rock, if you don't know. He's probably the busiest man in the world. He finds time to work out every single day. And also, I've checked your profile and you make over 20 TikToks a day, so you definitely have time. Stop making excuses for yourself.
Just like humans, cats can genetically have a slow metabolism, and they can gain weight fast. This may be out of the owner's control. The cat is 35 pounds. Genetics can't do that. Bodies are supposed to gain weight. No shit, Sherlock, but there's always an upper limit to these things. Just like how you can only lose but so much weight, you can only gain but so much weight. With your logic, humans should just be able to drink liters of water, right? Because water is good for humans. We drink it to survive. But oh no, if you drink more than 3 to 4 liters in 1 hour, you might die. But I thought water's good for us. Oh no. You see what I'm getting at? I swear you guys will grasp at any straws just to not go to the gym for an hour a day. You'll do anything but lose weight. Those are literally different dog breeds and they are all healthy. None of them are overweight. So what? And to end today's video, we have this post. When you enjoy food, you reclaim the pleasures of a life that white supremacy has tried to deny you. I'm speechless. I have nothing to say to that. That's up for interpretation. I'm giving the stage to you guys. How would you respond to something like this? Would you even respond at all? Let me know in the comments down below. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ailerus, aka Panda Daddy, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, let me know in the comments down below, and leave a like if you liked the video. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, fam. What you doing watching videos and not subscribing? And if you're old, make sure you hit that bell so you get these notifications every time. 3 uploads back to back. Is it Christmas already? No, I just feel like throwing a whole bunch of content out this week. And if you want to get an idea of what's coming up next, go ahead and check out the community tab. All of the information is there. And as always, I gotta thank the Patreon supporters who make content like this happen. A big thank you to Light1636, Broken to Asters, Jackson, The Business, Lady Laughs a Lot, Mina, Esau, The Swift, Izuku, Destroyer, Trey, Muffy Luhu, Noah, Vermont, John Robinson, Eva, Catherine Taylor, Arjun, Hannah, Keith Myers, Will Billy, Dustin, and Hostmar. Thank you so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated, and if you want to help support the channel, there's 2 links in the description, one to my Patreon and one to my merch store. Both funds go directly into the channel so we can maintain what's happening here. And as always, stay zesty!